Hi, and welcome back to another Spiritual Tea with Teja Priyadarshini episode. And with me, I have Swamy Pillai, who's a relationship coach, teacher of massage of 5 continents, certified facilitator with Access Consciousness, and certified instructor of Silva Ultra Mind ESP systems. Welcome on Spiritual Tea, Swamy. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Teja, for that introduction, and thank you for having me here. And I wonder what we are going to create with this interview today, and what we are going to invite the world to with this session today. So yeah, I'm excited.
I hope we create as much fun as possible, because this is going to be one of the most interesting topics, and that is access consciousness. I know that you have been practicing access consciousness as a certified facilitator for some time now. And most people who are watching this know me as an access bars practitioner. So I wanted you to shed some light on what access consciousness actually is, because most people are not really aware of it.
Yes, thank you. Well, it is difficult to really put it in words what access consciousness is. I'm going to do my best to get the energy of what access consciousness is. So the founder of access consciousness is Gary Douglas. Okay, and there was a point in time where he had everything in his life that this reality told that one should have for one to be happy. A great family, properties, bungalows, name, fame, all that was supposed to make one happy. He had all of that, and still there was a void. Okay, and that is when he started asking questions from the universe. And he said, if there is nothing better than this, I'm going to leave. Okay, so that is when he started asking certain questions with the universe. How can I make my life worthwhile? How can I make this world a better place? So Gary Douglas, when he asked this question, he started getting answers, and he started becoming aware that he has capacity. He started acknowledging that he's very good with channeling information. And he established himself as a very good channeler. However, what happened was the information that he was getting about people, was something that was going to change their entire life. However, people were not looking for that level of change. It is almost like, don't tell me how I can make my entire house beautiful. Just tell me what color should I paint my kitchen wall.
Yeah.
So Gary was kind of frustrated with this, and he said, I am having this information. I'm getting this information of how they can entirely change their life and all of their problems, but people are not willing to receive it. So he asked more questions, and then one day he got a call from one guy, and he said, Gary, would you channel for my massage therapist? So the energy of this, the question that he was asking of the universe, and the energy of this particular person who called him kind of was matching. And he said, yes, I will come. And then he went and went for the session, and that is when he was channeled that this information about access bars. So access bars are 32 different points in the head, which when touched gently can delete all the unnecessary, I can say, virus programs, all the belief systems and all the points of view that have been disempowering us. And he was guided to not only just give this session, but also start teaching this session. And that was the beginning 30 years ago, the beginning of access consciousness. And today it has spread to, I think, more than 185 countries in the world. And the foundation, the basic course is called Access Bars. Perhaps it may be too difficult for me to describe the entirety. I may just describe what Access Bar is. So these 32 points in the head, and as I said, when you gently touch, you can let go of all the limitation, known and unknown, not only of this lifetime, from any other lifetime that you have had. You don't need to know the story. You don't need to know the memory. You don't need to know where and when the belief system got formed. It starts automatically deleting, and automatically your life starts moving. Your life starts working in a way where you feel so much expansive, so much more joy, and so much communion with yourself. So yeah, it's different for different people. Yeah, and
it's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, the access bars itself is so potent. I know for a fact, I'm a believer of it, like 100%. And I've had a lot of clients coming and having these sessions with me, and I've seen phenomenal changes with them as well in like just a few sessions. So whatever Gary channeled on that auspicious day has changed lives all over the world, and it's amazing how access consciousness formed. So,
absolutely.
How did you come across this? Like, what was your path that led to access consciousness?
Okay, I'll try to again sum it up as short as possible. So I was introduced by one of my friends, and he said, I have learned this. I have become facilitator, and he just invited me to the class. I didn't even know what it was. I just went. Basically, I offered my space to have this class. So I didn't even have entire information. He had some other participants, and he said, you should join this class. And I said, okay, cool, I'm going to join this. And when I actually attended this class, I was already doing a lot of stuff at that time. I was doing EFT, I was doing pranic healing, I was doing Silva. There were a lot of other things that I was already involved with. And when I underwent this class, the things that they were teaching here in the class was so mind-boggling. I said, this is something absolutely phenomenal. This is absolutely something totally out of this world. However, I am already doing a lot of stuff right now. I'm not going to use it right now. And I do something, in Silva, we call it as programming. So I just programmed that whenever I'm ready to receive the change that access consciousness is inviting me into, let me know. I know that I'm not choosing this right now.
Yeah.
So after that, I never touched the manual. It was lying there, the chart and the bar chart, it was lying there.
So it was a bar class you went to?
Huh?
You went for a bar class? Okay.
Correct. However, the one other change happened was this was 2013. Mm-hmm. And in 2013, I got married, and just before getting married, my wife she fell unconscious in her company. She was working as a scientist in Reliance Life Sciences in Mumbai, and when she got up after 5 to 7 minutes, there was a pain in her back which will not go. It will keep coming back, and she did all the scans that she could. Nothing could diagnose the root cause of it. And it was almost 10 to 12 days, and we just had 1.5 months to get married, and she was serving the notice period. Mm-hmm. So my friend said, call her to Pune. I was living in Pune at that time, and he said, I'll do something. So he gave certain session. So the first session was a 1 hour session. He placed his hand over his back. Okay, and my wife was very skeptical because she's from a scientific background. She's a biotechnology, and I'm also a mechanical engineer. So she was skeptical in the sense, like, how can you cure something that you cannot diagnose? In her world, you need to first identify what the issue is, and then you can give medicine. So anyway, the thing is, on the first day, 40% of her pain went away.
Wow.
And another 40% went away the second session of the second day, and by the third day the remaining pain went away. And she said, oh my god, this is something amazing. Once I get married and come to Pune, I'm going to learn this. So in 2014 I again underwent the workshop because she was there. And again I was like, become present. Oh my god, this is something absolutely massive. But I'm again not ready for this now. Again, let it come. I would let this come and I'm ready. So it was 2014, and in 2018 was a time when one of my common friend, he came to me and he said, what? I was told by my friend that you are Access Bars practitioner. Okay. And she told me that the problem that I'm going through, if I receive 10 sessions, I will get over with it. Like I will be out of this problem. And so this guy, he is a TED Talk speaker. He wrote 2 books. He's a MS. He quit his job, a high profile job from US, and he came to India to become a life coach. He's an ICF certified trainer, but he couldn't get himself to speak and communicate with people and invite them. And I was like, what? I can change this with EFT and NLP. He said, no, I just need access bar session, 10 session. He gave me the money and he said, it is okay even if you're not confident. You don't have to guarantee any result. I trust that you just give me these sessions. And that was the beginning of my journey with Access. And I think I gave him 5 sessions, and he got a call from Symbiosis College. And that was a big shift for him. And then he got another call, the sixth session, and then by seventh session he discovered another modality, EFT. So he went and learned in Mumbai, and that's it. He never came to take the remaining session because he was already off with all those apprehension, all the fear. That was the beginning. And my wife said, if a bars can shift this level to, it can shift, if it can shift so much, you know what, give me for straight 7 days. And I remember this was Navratri last 2018. He said, give to me and give to my client, one of our client with whom she was working for almost 2 years with a wonderful result. So I gave regularly 7 days sessions to both of them. I had no confidence. I was not even sure whether I'm doing it correctly.
I know the feeling.
Looking at the chart. I was totally, but the thing is, the results were showing up, and I was like forced to believe that, cool, something is definitely happening here. Okay.
Absolutely.
So with this client, so with this, I'll just cover this in a minute. So with this client, within 7 days, he said my acidity went away, my pimples and acne went away. Okay. He couldn't. So his mother's relationship with his brother's wife was not well since last 3 years, since his brother got married. Somehow something changed, and they were willing to spend 3 days together. Like, he used to stay in Pune and they used to stay in Bangalore. So they booked the flight for 3 days flight to spend the time together. And he had his business partner with whom things were not going well. And he was not closing, he was not even having a dialogue with him. And somehow he could remain calm, and he had a dialogue, and there was a beautiful closure of that company. So these were the things that were totally unbelievable for me. My goodness, and I totally, I didn't choose to believe that it is happening because of bars. Later on, I got to know that, as you give bars, any area of your life that is stuck, they will start moving.
And you may not even know.
Yeah, exactly. And my own life, and one of the biggest shift happened was, as you introduced me as Silva method trainer, I am practicing since last 21 years. And I wanted to become a Silva trainer since 2007, when I did this class. And I had made multiple attempts to become a trainer. None of them really worked out for some reason or the other. And I had attempted almost 4 times, 2007, 2010, 2015, then another time 2017, twice. Somehow in the end, things would not work out. And this is somewhere in the month of October, I got this one idea to send a mail to someone. I dropped a mail. I received a mail within 2 to 3 days. And then I went, and I got an invitation to become a trainer, and I became a trainer in 2018 in the end, like out of the blue. So for me, that is one of the biggest shift, I would say, when I had, I've not given up, but somewhere I said, universe, whenever you think I'm ready, you can make me a Silva trainer then. And with this
showed up.
Yes. And so what I understood was, when I'm giving the bars, when anyone gives the bars, it not only benefits a person. If you have any mental blocks or similar blocks that person has, that also gets deleted. So how does it get any better? You get to give the session, the person benefits, you benefit, and you also get paid.
And also it ripples out to all their family members, friends, and the closest circle, and they all start to experience change. I mean, I've seen clients who come in with saying, I'm feeling like this, and then their spouses or partners, and they call up and they say that, please fix this person. And when I do bars on one person, they also feel the change, and it kind of makes their relationship better, and everything starts to just sort itself out magically. I mean, it's wonderful. Though the techniques seem so simple, the effect of it is so potent, because like you were mentioning earlier that somebody came for the speech issues, like he was a life coach but he was having problems communicating. I would have to tell you this. I had a friend, a colleague of mine in the UK, and she is someone who channels light languages, and the light languages were coming out of her as an alien language, and it wasn't understood by whoever she was channeling for. So when I met her, I had this, this feeling like you just have that knowing, right, with bars, that bars is going to help her. And so I offered it to her, and I said, why would you like to try it? If you want to channel in English, would you like to try this? In one session, she shifted so much that now she's able to channel in English and in those light languages whenever she wants. And that was, for me, I think, the most evident or miraculous exchange of energy that ever happened in a bar session, So it's amazing how this happens.
In fact, since as you're mentioning this, as I spoke to you before we had this call, yesterday or day before, you shared your experience of bars. I found that was one of the, after Dr. Dane, who's a co-creator of Access Consciousness, your experience was so profound. I would actually love to let the people know of your experience. It was phenomenal. And also a disclaimer that not that everyone is going to have this kind of change. We all have we all are at different stages, and the change that we receive is dependent on individual, and not that everyone is going to experience a similar change. So just saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, because access bars is something that the more open you are, the more you receive. So sometimes even if you're 100% open, you may receive whatever your body requires at that particular time. So don't be in judgment of yourself. I think that's one of the most important things to remember when you're having a bar session. It changed for her. Why did it change for me? Because in my case, it was, I don't know, maybe I was in a state where I was open in all forms, all my barriers were down. I was extremely depressed. I was suicidal. I was in a, that rabbit hole that Alice goes into. It was never ending for me. And I thought I could never get myself out of it. And even though I was practicing a lot of spiritual techniques by then, I just happened to come across Access through, a relative's niece. And she said, my niece also practices something very similar. So I was okay, let me just go and have a try. And she was the one who introduced me to Access Consciousness and Access Bars. One session and my life flipped 180 degrees. I went in with this darkness looming over me, thinking that, okay, if this doesn't work, that's it, I'm checking out. There is no way I'm going to be in this reality and continue living this way. And I don't know what happened, what shifted, but when I woke up from that session and I got out, everything seemed so new and fresh, and my slate was wiped clean. So when Swamy says that, things get deleted, all the virus programs that get deleted, he's giving you an example in a way where all the baggage that you've been carrying, all those thought processes, limitations, belief systems, they all get dissipated, they just disappear. And they no longer serve you or your purpose. And you're free to choose what you want to believe in after that, or how you want to live your life. And it only gets better. There is no way that you will go back to feeling lousy and miserable after a bar session. It doesn't happen. If it happens, you've not had it right. And there is nothing it's not done right. Because every bar session, no matter who gives you, the energy is the one that does the work, and we're just facilitators, and we just make sure that it happens. So, it can help anybody, right? Is there a criteria of people who can't try something like this?
Okay, I would like to quote here, well, the answer is yes and no. Okay, I have been asking, so I have been a life coach since almost 10 years now, 12 years since 2010. So I see that there are a lot of family members, relatives, whom we would like to change. However, you and me know that we cannot force people to change. They need to make a choice, right? Yeah. And even with sessions, you are kind of either giving an advice, or the person have to be willing to change. Mm-hmm. I was asking that, what if I get some methodology where the person doesn't have to know, doesn't have to know what is the block, doesn't have to really cognitively get involved in the process. The person can just be there, and the change can happen. And I think Access Bar has been getting introduced to Access, and Access Bar has been one of the answer from the universe for me, where the person has to just lie down. The person doesn't have to believe.
Yes.
The only thing is, one of the space can be, one cannot make oneself remain positive even without experiencing, right? So I'm not saying you don't have to be doubtful, or you have to be totally confident and totally positive about receiving bar session. However, one of the best spaces. Cool. I wonder what this is going to change. I've heard a lot about access bars, of what it shifted for so many people. I wonder what it is going to change. So going and receiving the session from a space of wonderment. Okay, I truly, there is this one saying, what else is truly possible? So I wonder what is going to shift for me. I wonder what else is going to change for me. So that can be an amazing space where you're not really having any barriers. You're not really having any expectation of how things have to show up. Exactly. You're just there wondering how, wonder in space of wonderment and curiosity of a child, and allow whatever shows up to whatever changes occurs to show up. So so there is no requirement as such. There's no prerequisite. The only prerequisite is you need to be just willing to change certain aspect of your life.
Yes, because it does shift something.
Oh my God, phenomenally. And there are hundreds and thousands of experience from across the world of what all shifted, health-wise, finance-wise, relationship-wise, depression. The list is endless. And as I keep running these sessions, so many personal experience of the clients makes us really wonder, oh my God, okay, this also can change. Oh, acha, this also can change. So
what has been one of those most interesting experiences for you in a session? I know Access Consciousness is not only access bars, it has a lot of different other things that you can do. So in all of Access Consciousness, if you were to pick one of the most, wow, this is a phenomenal experience, what would you pick?
Okay, so I'll share from my experience because it can be different for different. So for me, my personal access journey began when I did the advanced class called Access Foundation. It was almost 4 months later. I did it in March 28, 2019. I so very clearly remember the date. As you said, your entire life flipped 180 degree. Yeah. So for me, the word that comes is 360 degree. There was nothing that was same for me anymore. So it's called Access Foundation. It's the second level of, after you do the bars, you can attend this. And it shifted my relationship reality. Me and my wife Mansi, we would have certain disagreement about certain way where we are going to execute certain thing in our business, in our life. And the disagreement and what followed afterwards, it decreased by almost 95%.
Wow.
So we always used to have, one of the biggest things that shifted for me was, cool, I know better in this area. So you know what, you should do in this way. So there's a kind of control and there is a kind of I know better thing, so the control part so dropped away because I recognize that each of us are individuals, unique individuals, and we have our own awareness of how things have to be executed. I would have a different way of talking right now, and she would have a totally different way of talking, and I would I don't think you should present yourself in this way. Yeah. So what we are this world teaches, right from childhood, we teach our kids and everyone teaches us, this is the way it should be, so the right way of being, and we kind of criticize for a lifetime, by our parents, by our siblings, by your spouses, that you should have done this in this way, you should have done it in that way. What if you can just be you, and that is the change, and that is where you can really be this phenomenal contribution to the world. So that is what shifted for me, my money reality, my health reality, what kind of food I need to have to remain healthy, how I have to do, what kind of obligation I have to do and not do to have a wonderful relationship. Everything shifted, and there is so much of ease, I just can't tell. So foundation for me is something that I would recommend everyone, because there is nothing in the world that isn't covered in that class. Yes. All the aspects of life gets covered, and oh my God, I can't really. So if I have to nutshell sum up, in the last 3 years, I would say, or 2.5 years since I did foundation, what I was expecting that in next 20 years, I would have this kind of life, this kind of skill set, this kind of choices, where this kind of lifestyle, this kind of freedom from within, I am experiencing in that. I have I was expecting myself to experience and reach after 20 years. I'm already experiencing in this last 2.5 to 3 years.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal, absolutely. My world was taken over by storm with this. So the thing is, I am just being me here. What the things that comes naturally to me here, I'm just being me, and I'm seeing, oh my God, I can contribute so phenomenally. And people are, when I'm recognizing this, people are recognizing, and there is so much of ease of, gifting and receiving. It's simply magical.
Yeah. So we have agreed anyway to give a taster of what Access Energy can be like through the Access Pulse workshop that we were planning to do over this weekend. So I'm going to give all the details in the description box and how you can access the Access Pulse workshop on this weekend and what time it's going to be. All of that will be in the description box. But since you were talking about how relationships can change with access consciousness and just the awareness of just by being yourself, you can shift so much. And I think energy pulls come in that category as well. So can you tell us something about energy pulls and what it's all about?
Yes. So there is a term that may be new for people. There is a term called humanoid, human and humanoid. Okay, so most of us who are actually interested in these kind of fields, we may come into the category of humanoid. Okay, and one of the biggest challenge that we face is we try to create like everyone else, and we struggle. We kind of struggle to fit. We feel that we are misfits, and there is something wrong with me inherently. Okay, however, the thing is, we are supposed to not create with effort, but our potency lies in creating through energy, and that is what energy flows are all about, or energy pull is all about. Humanoids create magic through energy, not with effort. Okay, so this part of this understanding of this, of course, effort is also involved, but it's so much of ease and ease and grace there. So energy pulls and energy flows are one of the phenomenal contribution of Access, and that I use almost every day to actualize things, to get my things done, to allow things to show up like magic. So it is one of the most phenomenal contribution of Access, one of the most easiest, I would say, and it comes so easy peasy, So that is something I would like to introduce. We can have a Zoom call on that perhaps on this coming weekend, I guess Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah. So, I have to tell that the energy pulls, I do energy pulls almost every day whenever I feel like I need energy for the day, or if I feel like I need to reach out to more people, I just do energy pulls. And sometimes when I feel like my energy is being drained, I just do energy flows, and then my energy kind of gets replenished by itself. So you can use energy pulls and energy flows to, I think, make more money, rectify relationships, find more energy for your own self. Please add to the list, Swamy. I mean, many.
Like getting a life partner, getting a business partner, getting the right house, getting the right investment, getting the right school, getting the right maid for your house. I would not say right. May not be apt way for lack of words. I would say people or things that are truly going to contribute to you, the places truly going to contribute to you, can actually show up for you. It is like the universe is waiting to contribute to you. And if we can, we are already doing energy pulls already. It's just that we don't know that we are doing it.
Aware, yes.
We are not aware of it consciously. It's just that you become present to this as to how it is done. And there's nothing that cannot be done with energy pulls. Like any kind of change is possible with energy flows and energy pulls. So one of the interesting thing is you can get people to say the truth.
That's awesome. I think we all need that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is, for me, it still is one of the most phenomenal thing. Oh my God, like you can actually detect like if a person is lying or not, and you can get the person to say the truth, especially when you're going to buy something and somebody's force selling something to you. And when you are doing some energy pulls there, that person, to his own surprise, may end up telling that, you know what, all this is good, but I don't think this is for you. And the person would get surprised. So just saying.
That's awesome. So in this workshop that Swamy is offering over the weekend, we're going to do samples of all of these energy pulls just to give you an idea of how you can use it in your day-to-day life to have more ease with your life. The fact, I think the principle on which Access Consciousness runs, if I'm not wrong, is to have more fun and to have more ease with your life. Not just with your life, with your body, with everything that you are. Just by being you and having that ease to be your authentic self, I think that is the principle of Access Consciousness. And everything that Access Consciousness has to offer allows you to be you with such ease that, like Swamy was saying, you all tend to become humanoids. You don't even have to make the effort. You just have to think it, you have to pull the energy or flow the energy, whatever it is you need to do, and it just manifests like that. So it is basically creating magic and allowing you to have more ease.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you said it so aptly, and if I have to add that, I would say that this magic is already available. We just have to consciously access it, consciously, and things can show up in such a phenomenally unique way beyond your imagination. The best part, I mean, for me, is my life has showed up. The money showed up beyond my wildest imagination. Things showed up beyond my wildest imagination. The career and everything shifted beyond what I can ever conceive and believe. So one of the tagline of Access Consciousness is empowering people to know that they know.
Yeah.
So that's so proud. Like, I was like, what? I really don't think I know about how to fix my life. And as I keep doing Access classes, I am becoming present to, oh my God, I actually knew. It's just that I needed validation. I didn't trust my awareness. I didn't trust my intuition. So I didn't trust that I am sufficient in my own way and I'm not really wrong. So one of the biggest gift of Access can be to get you out of your judgment of yourself and your judgment of the world. And yeah, if you can get out of, if you don't have to make yourself wrong, or if you don't have to make anyone wrong, what can you choose?
Yeah.
So yeah, the entire universe is waiting to contribute. It's just a matter of your choice. And to summarize in the end, in the other way is, earlier before Access, I believed that I need to have resources in my life to make choices. Like, for example, if I need to fly somewhere, I would see, okay, cool, if I have to buy something, would I have enough time? Would I have enough money? Only then we plan, right? If you actually look at our life, if I ask you, cool, what all you would buy if you had 1 crore of money? And you would say, this, you will have a list of things. But right now, we are waiting for the money first, and then we make a choice to, have this thing in our life. So for me, after Access, my life is cool. I don't really have to look at whether I have enough money or I have enough time or energy or even skill set. I found a different way where I can just make a choice and all of this starts showing up.
Yes.
So yeah, so you never ever have to wait for anything that you think you require in life, and you never have to wait for the right timing. You can start making some new choices. That is what these tools are going to empower us with, the tools of Access bars and the foundation and other different hundreds of different classes to really allow this thing to flow to your life.
I call all of the statements Access has as magical statements because they really, really work like magic. And so my question is, because when people look at us practicing all of these things, they think that, oh, you need to have that kind of a bent of mind, or you need to be a certain way to practice it. So what would you tell these people? Like, can anybody practice it?
Yeah, the best part is you don't have to be an intellect. You don't have to be good in science and maths. You don't have to be especially Access bars when you're learning, you don't really need to get anything. All you need is a willingness to perhaps have more magic, perhaps have more change in your life, with total ease and joy. That's it. There is no prerequisite as to you need to have certain bent of mind, you need to have certain education, nothing. Like even a 4-year-old, like we have kids in our classes, and the best part is kids below 15 years, all of them get to attend this class for free along with any paying adult, because the kids have a phenomenal knowing, and Gary believes that it would be a great contribution if kids can truly recognize that, by being themselves, they can actually change the world. So yeah,
absolutely. I can vouch for that because there was a Access bars class here in my city, and I think a 10-year-old had joined in with his father, and they needed you do the swaps for the class, right? So they wanted extra people, so I volunteered and I said, you know what, I need bars, so I'm coming in. And I had the privilege to swap with the child. And the moment he touched my access points, I was like, I was in a complete different zone. And no adult had that kind of effect on me. When a child touched those points, I was like blown. And when I woke up, when the session was done, I was in such a happy, blissful dazed state. I just didn't want anything. I just wanted to just be like that for hours and hours, So I know children have such amazing potency. They're more magical. They're like unicorns. They've got magic in every cell of them, and they know it. The best part is they're aware of it. Adults, I don't know, we tend to just forget conveniently because we're supposed to be this way and supposed to be that way. And access in that way, tells us there's nothing like right and wrong. It's just an interesting point of view. And I think that's one of the best parts of access. You can be whoever you want to be without being in judgment of yourself.
True.
Right. So if people were to have a session with you, I know you're based out of Pune, and you also do sessions online. The other access consciousness tools.
So there are physical sessions like access bars and body process. These are in-person sessions. However, there are also something called clearings, verbal clearings, and symphony of possibility sessions that can be done from a distance or telephone. So I do these sessions. I offer this session at a distance, and I stay in Pune, and now we are also based out of Bangalore. So we keep moving in both the places. So people are welcome to have a taster of access bars and even the verbal clearing sessions. So these are amazing. And the best part is nobody has to believe in it. Just allow yourself to come and experience, get your own experience, and you will know what we are talking of. Because it said, if you want to study electricity, you can study for 100 years, but you will truly not know what effect it has until you actually have a shock. Like one experience is equal to reading 100 books. So just go and experience an access bars from any person who is nearby, any access bar practitioners, and you don't have to believe. Just go and experience, and I wonder what is that going to shift and change for you. So you're welcome to come to my place in Pune, in Bangalore, and also you can just type in Google Access Bars practitioners. There is a website called accessconsciousness.com, and they have a list of practitioners from across the world whom you can get in touch with. So we are there in more than 185 or 196 countries right now. So
That's wonderful. I'm going to leave all of the contact details on how you can reach Swamy and have sessions from him, and not just the sessions from Access Consciousness, but also the Silva Ultra Mind methods. All of that information is going to be in the description box below. We are going to do a specific video on the Silva Ultra Mind as well in the future, and probably give you more information on what it is and what you can expect from it. But we can talk about Access all day long because there is so much to talk about. But for those of you who want to be part of the Energy Pull workshop, then all you need to do is comment below on what it is that you want to change or shift in your life. As simple as that. And we're going to pick like a bunch of you for the workshop. So there is no limit, I guess, because the previous one we had a limit of 12. But for the energy pulls, just comment away, like, share, subscribe the video to your friends. They can also join in for the workshop. It's going to be a fantastically fun session, I'm sure of it, because energy pulls are really crazy, and they can give you whatever it is that you're looking for. And Swamy being there, he's going to definitely share some of his wisdom for the energy pulls and the energy flows, and it will change your life. There's no doubt about it. Somehow or the other, it's going to change your life. So thank you, Swamy, so much for being on the show. And before we leave, is there anything people need to keep in mind before they come in for a session with you?
You mean to say this workshop, or you're talking about personal
generally
sessions?
in Access Consciousness? Do people need to?
Nothing. The only thing is, they can just be clear with what change they are looking for in life.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing particular. Even if they don't have that, also is fine. Somewhere, the only thing is a willingness to receive the change, a willingness to experience magic, something totally different. So if that willingness is sufficient, I can say, if at all if I have to tell this is a prerequisite that is needed, this can be one of the prerequisites. Just have willingness to experience something different.
And one more thing is, before we close, I just wanted to add that the only side effect of the Access Bars class is you may laugh a lot. You may just be in such a happy space. People might think that, what is this? Like, why am I not like that? So those are the only side effects. Or you may fall asleep during the session, right?
Yeah, and I think that reminds me, I think the worst case scenario is you'll feel as if, like, especially I'm talking of Access Bars, the worst case scenario is you'll feel like you had a good head massage. And the best case scenario is your entire life would change.
Absolutely, it is. So thank you so much for coming on Spiritual Tea with me, Swamy, and we will look forward for the workshop on this weekend. All the details will be in the description box below. And if you're chosen for the workshop, you will receive a message. Please be aware of the messages, because sometimes they can get lost and you may not receive it on time. So just make sure that you keep an eye on the replies and how you can get in touch with me for the session. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in, and we will see you again in another Spiritual Tea episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.